There's an alarming statistic that by now in spring, the majority of people who set out on their fitness or weight loss goals have already quit. And that's a real sad thing to see because usually by the springtime, if you had stayed the course when you started in January, this is the time right now when you really want to start tightening up things so that way you can get ready for summer. Okay, so I want to give you 4 things that I'm going to actually be implementing right now in spring that's going to get me even more shredded before summer. Now, before we dive deep into this, for those of you who are new to my channel and you're not familiar with what I do and who I am, my name is Tim Ernst. I'm an intermittent keto fasting coach who has helped hundreds of men from all over the world to lose at least 40 pounds in 16 weeks using my Keto Shed 40 program. If you want more info on that, I'll go ahead and drop a link in the description of this video. All you have to do is click it. It'll send you to a YouTube video that kind of explains a little bit about what I do and how I could potentially help you. And also, I've been on my own journey for many, many years. Back in 2018, I was sitting at around 243 pounds. I discovered this whole keto and fasting thing and I dropped 70 pounds in just 7 months. Then we fast forward to 2020, I put some weight back on and I basically stayed there for 4 years until this year in 2025, I decided to get back into my best shape. And here we are. I went from 233 in January, got down to 190, so 43 pounds in about 10 weeks. And I've kind of been maintaining that. However, in this video, I want to get even more shredded and I want to share these 4 tips with you that I'm going to be doing and already starting to do, and I believe it's going to help you as well. So let's just dive right into this. So I'm not a big supplement guy, okay? I kind of pride myself. I don't take any supplements. I don't even take multivitamins. But recently, I started taking some multivitamins. I started taking some other things. And one of the things that I'm going to be experimenting with that seems to have a lot of promise and a lot of research is starting to come out is called TMG, and this basically means trimethylglycine. Now, what TMG is going to do, it's very interesting from the research that I've been looking at, is that many experience losing fat, but their BMI did not change. Their BMI stayed the same. So what does that tell you? These individuals were losing fat while retaining muscle mass, and that's what you want to do. Because whenever you're doing any type of diet, calorie restriction, or whatever it is, there's that fear of losing muscle. And you want to do your best to avoid losing any type of muscle mass because the more muscle you have on your body, the more calories your body will burn at rest. So we need to preserve muscle. So this is going to be something I'm going to experiment with myself. They say the recommended dosage is around like that 4 grams, so 4,000 milligrams. That's kind of where you want to stay around when taking TMG, okay? So I'm gonna be taking that. And again, it sounds almost too good to be true, but from the research, a lot of these people lost fat while retaining muscle, okay? So that's number 1. Now, number 2, one thing that I've been taking that I haven't taken since my 20s, but I have noticed a huge difference, is I'm taking a post-workout drink that contains 5 grams of creatine, L-carnitine, and L-tartrate, okay? So many people are familiar with creatine. Basically, it holds water in the muscle. You have better performance. You're stronger. But I've been actually noticing that my recovery has been like night and day, okay? So the supplement that I'm taking it has 5 grams of creatine, but it also has L-carnitine and L-tartrate, about 2.5 grams, okay? And really what carnitine and L-tartrate would do, it's going to boost performance, but it's also going to help with recovery. So when you combine creatine with L-carnitine and L-tartrate, you're going to notice that you're going to have a boost in the gym, you're going to have more focus, and you're going to recover much faster. And you know the name of the game in order to build muscle and lose weight is you need to be recovering at a faster rate. This is why a lot of people do TRT and steroids, because you recover much faster. So this way you can go into the gym the next day and hit it again, okay? It's gonna reduce the muscle soreness, all that lactic acid through your workouts. It's gonna minimize that. So this way you can go back to the gym fresh and ready to go, okay? So that's number 2. Now the third thing I'm gonna do, I've mentioned this maybe a while ago on my channel, is I'm gonna do what's called a lean protein blast, but I'm gonna alternate this, okay? So this is what I'm gonna do. For 5 days in a row, I'm gonna eat nothing but lean protein And then the other 2 days, I'm gonna increase the fats, okay? What you gotta understand when you do a keto diet, okay, it's very high in fat, but sometimes when you're eating too much fat, you're not allowing your own body fat to be lost, okay? So if you keep pounding the fat, you're not giving your own body the ability to lose its own body fat. So what we need to do is we need to kind of lower the fats a little bit so we can actually tap into body fat, okay? So I'll be doing this for about 5 days, lean protein. So let me just give you a brief example of the kind of meals I'm gonna be eating. Now I will tell you, I wanna warn you, when you take the fats out of your diet and you're eating nothing but lean protein and vegetables, you will get hungry, okay? That's what I love about keto, kind of keeps you full and satiated, but when you take the fat out, hunger increases. So how do you manage that? I may have to go to 3 meals a day instead of the standard 2 meals a day that I've been doing. I've been kind of alternating between OMAD, 2 meals a day. I typically will do like an 18-6, so I'll eat my first meal at 12 and I'll eat my last meal at 6. But what I might do is add like a meal in the middle. So I'll probably eat at 12, 3, and 6. So I'm still fasting for 18 hours, but I'm just including 3 meals. Because you got to remember also, when you take the fats out of your diet, your calories are going to be very, very low. So you got to remember that. For every gram of fat you have is equivalent to 9 calories. So you can imagine the calories start to add up quick. Well, when you pull the fat out of the diet, now you're like really low in calories. Protein's only 4 calories per 1 gram. And I'm not eating any carbohydrates, so that kind of eliminates that. The only carbs I'm really getting is from the vegetables, which is basically fiber, okay? So again, I'm gonna be eating at 12, 3, and 6, nothing but lean protein. So maybe my first meal will be like a huge egg white omelet with a bunch of veggies. The second meal, you could have like lean chicken breasts, maybe some tilapia, tuna, something like a white fish. And then the third meal, I'll choose one of those again, maybe lean turkey or chicken or some type of lean fish. So that's kind of what I'm gonna be doing. And then the other 2 days, I'll probably just do my normal keto where I increase the fats, okay? Now, the last and final thing I have done in the past, I did this last year. This works very, very well. It's called ETRF. This stands for Early Time Restricted Feeding. So most people, when they're doing intermittent fasting, what are they doing? They skip breakfast, okay? Maybe they have lunch and then dinner, or maybe they skip breakfast and lunch and they just eat their meal toward the end of the day, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because you're less mobile toward the end of the day. You're not gonna burn as many calories. So what ETRF does is you're gonna be skipping lunch, skipping dinner, but eating breakfast. So the majority of your calories you are gonna consume early in the day. And maybe if I have some, because we're in spring, we're gonna be going into summer, I'll probably do some yard work, go to the gym. I'm gonna burn right through those calories. So by the time the evening comes and I go to sleep, my stomach is gonna be virtually empty. Now, this is a little bit challenging, okay? Most people are used to chasing that meal, right? They're fasting, they're drinking their coffee, they're having their carbonated water to keep them full, and they're chasing their meal toward the end of the day. And it almost gives you something to look forward to, right? Well, now it's totally the opposite. You gotta eat early in the day, and now you gotta try and not eat the rest of the day, which can be very, very challenging. But I'm telling you, if you do ETRF, you are gonna notice a huge difference in your physique, okay? So let's just recap this before I shut down this video. The 4 things we're gonna do, we're gonna experiment with TMG, so trimethylglycine. This is where you're gonna drop fat, but preserve muscle mass, okay? I'm already taking the creatine with the L-carnitine and the L-tartrate. That's gonna help with muscle recovery. It's gonna reduce the soreness so I can get back in the gym fresh and hit it hard again. Then we're gonna do a lean protein blast where I'm just gonna eat nothing but lean meats and veggies for 5 days. And then the other 2 days, we're gonna increase the fats, go back to keto carnivore, okay? So we're gonna do that until the summer. And the last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and do what's called ETRF. So I'm gonna basically consume the majority of my calories early in the day as opposed to chasing my meal at the end of the day, okay? So try these 4 tips. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm already sitting at around that 190 pounds. What I wanna do, my goal is to get to 180, okay? I figure if I can give myself 10 pounds of wiggle room, let's just say I end up going on vacation after, during the summer and I gain maybe a couple pounds, 5 pounds, I'm still gonna look great. So at the end of the day, try to overshoot your goal by 10 pounds. So my goal was 190, I'm already there. So I might as well shoot for 180. And if I happen to kind of go off the plane a little bit during the summer, you know, while on vacation, because I will be going on a cruise, I'm going to be filming that too. That's going to be really exciting. 7-day cruise. I'll be filming the whole thing for you guys of what I'm eating and what we're doing. There's even a fantastic gym on this cruise that we're going to be going to. So I'll make sure to be filming that. But anyway, I'm going to overshoot my goal by 10 pounds, get to 180. So if I become a little bit more flexible on my vacation, I'm still going to look great. All right. So if you like this video, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and always hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I'll see you then.